What's going on, everybody? You hear the music, you know what time it is. I am KODX Factor, back with you again for the Game Night Lounge Media Network's The Jump Off. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As you may hear, my voice is starting to crack again. This cold weather and the allergies have just gotten so bad here in the North Carolina area. Now, look, I love it here. Weather is great right now. See, my voice is going right there. You hear it? But I've always been like a fall guy. You know what I mean? I love the fall. Even the spring sometimes is cool, but man, the fall has always been like the perfect season for me. And if you live in the North Carolina area or you're from North Carolina, then you know what I'm talking about. You know, the summers can just get a little bit too hot. I mean, you know, you're talking about the humidity getting bad, and you know, I love it during the summer. I mean, because I can take my vacation, spend a lot of time swimming, you know, and beach trips and stuff like that. I love that, but man, the fall is really where it's at for me. I just love being able to go to bed curled up in like the comforters and everything else. I just love I won't say I love it dead cold. I mean, because too cold can be too cold. But, you know, I love just like the weather we're in right now, you know, 50s, 60s, you know, 50s at night, 40s at night sometimes, you know, 60s throughout the day, maybe low 70s. That's my sweet spot. I can kind of chill out there. And right now with the weather change, my allergies have just gotten all kind of out of whack and been sneezing a lot. My voice is starting to go. My throat's starting to bad feeling, and it probably is not going to sound that great with me on the show, but I'm going to push on through and hopefully try to make it at least sound the best I can possibly make it sound. So please bear with me. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate you coming back. If you are following us on any of our RSS feeds, we are on the iOS platform. In iTunes, we are on the Google Play Store in their podcast section. You can also find us on TuneIn. And we are also on other podcast avenues such as Podbean.com and other podcast websites that are hosting our RSS feed. We greatly appreciate you guys because it's a lot of support coming your way. So thank you guys so much. Just a couple of clarifications here and a couple of heads up about this show. We are leaning towards a couple of sponsors for the show, and I wanted to put this out there to anybody that may be listening that's interested in sponsoring this show. Please go to our website at www.gaynightlounge.wordpress.com. Go to the Contact Us section and make sure you shoot us an email and let us know if you're interested in sponsoring the show. We would love to talk with you and, you know, at least get, you know, some advertising going that way, because you know, we're up there. I mean, we're getting up there in listeners every week, and I appreciate everybody coming back. So you know, it's really really cool. But if you're interested in anything like that, you know, just please go to our website, go to the Contact Us Now section, and shoot us an email. Let us know what your thoughts are, what you're looking for, and then we can communicate back and forth and try to get something going. So that's if anybody's interested in sponsors or sponsorship of this program. So, like I said, we greatly appreciate all the support we've been getting, even on the YouTube channel. Even though the podcast gets way more hits on our RSS feed as opposed to the YouTube channel. But I always want to steer everybody towards the YouTube channel, because right now we've got a ton of content. You know how October is right now. You hear us talk about it every single week. And we've got content going up every single day right now, anyhow, for the month of October. So you've got a couple of videos going up every single day. We've got 2 more going up actually this afternoon. And we've got plenty of games to play. We've got the Fallout 76 beta we just put a couple of videos up for. So make sure you check that. Make sure you check that out to find out our impressions on the Fallout 76 beta. And we're going to talk about that here a little bit later on in the show, because I've got a couple of quarrels with Bethesda on how they're handling their beta situation. And then we've got Red Dead Redemption coming this weekend, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We got the review for Red Dead Redemption 2 coming this weekend. And for those of y'all that are wondering why reviews for Red Dead Redemption have not been going out, not only just from us, but from other avenues as well, It's because Take-Two and Rockstar do not send out early review copies of their games anymore. They just haven't done it in quite a while. What they tend to do now is hold review events where you go into a venue that they have prepared for you, and you'll spend a few days there playing the game, playing hours upon hours of the game in an environment where I don't want to say you're monitored, because that just puts like a bad spin on it. But you're in an atmosphere where the general public's not going to see it, or by any chance be able to see it. So you're kind of secluded in that way. So they're basically review events. So they don't send out copies of the game for review like that anymore. At least they haven't for quite a while. And we kind of knew that was going to be happening with Red Dead Redemption 2. So any reviews that are going up from today, because I think the embargo lifted today. So any reviews you see today are from people that have gone to those events and those review events and have gotten that gameplay of the game and have gotten hands-on with it, enough hands-on with it to give it a concise review. We are actually going to be waiting until we get the copy of the game here in the office, which will be tonight or early tomorrow morning. And we will begin, we've already got it assigned, and we'll begin crackdown of that game very, very shortly after that. And then we will have the review going up, hopefully by end of the weekend, but I don't want to push the review for this game because this is going to be considered one of the better, I won't say the better, but one of the biggest games this year. So we're going to take our time with it, especially with the amount of content that game has. It's going to be like Fallout 76. Fallout 76, Bethesda does not send out review copies of games, so you're not going to really see a review for Fallout 76 unless it's being held with like a review event. And Fallout 76 is such a huge game and it involves a lot of multiplayer that it's going to have to kind of be almost like a event. And it's going to be kind of a harder game to review just because you got to review the game content, stories, and you got to also review the online interactions and the online content. And if the game's not live for anybody to really use until the launch day, it's going to be kind of hard to pump out a review at that point. So, but we're going to be taking our time with Fallout 76 as well. So those are going to be two of the biggest games this year, and we're going to be taking our time with those. So that way we can deliver a concise review for you guys and an honest one. So that way you guys have an understanding of what the game consists of if you're kind of on the fence about purchasing it to begin with. And with games like that, we tend to find that not a lot of people are on the fence about purchasing those games. It's either a do or don't. And Red Dead, you already know what you're going to get. It's Rockstar Games. It's an open world game. It's that style. You remember Red Dead Redemption. You already know what you're going to be getting with that. Fallout 76, you kind of know what you're going to be getting with it, but you kind of don't because it's a new avenue they're going with, and the game's being played in multiplayer and online only. So this is a new avenue for Bethesda. So we're actually really, really looking forward to reviewing this game and playing it and getting a really, really in-depth hands on it. So we're actually kind of really looking forward to that because this is going to be kind of a different approach that we're going to be taking with this review just due to the fact that it's like playing an MMO, so it's going to be played just a little bit different. But but just know the earliest that we can get that review out, we will. But we will be taking our time with playing those games, so that way we can try to cover every detail about it. So that way everything is covered. So that way you guys are well informed about what's coming in those box products. But staying on the wavelength with Fallout 76, I have now, for those of you who don't know, if you pre-ordered the game already, the beta had just started 2 days ago, Monday. Or was it Tuesday? No, Tuesday. I'm sorry, Tuesday. So the beta launched on Tuesday. Now, typically when you think of a beta, you think of, okay, the game's going to be live for a week or so, and or you have like 3 or 4 days to play the game, and then they cut it off, they work on it, and then it ships. Because we're actually we're getting close to the launch day. We're about 3 weeks away from the launch of Fallout 76. But Bethesda's taking a different approach with Fallout 76 beta. They are giving you time spurts that you can play the game. Now, the beta launched on Tuesday. You had until 7 p.m. Eastern Time to 11 p.m. Eastern Time to play the game. So you could play as much as you wanted to, explore as much as you wanted to within that time frame. And then when that time frame came up, you got a little message up in the right-hand corner of your screen while you were playing. And it said the server will be shutting down for maintenance in approximately this time. And normally it's about a 20-minute, you got about a 20-minute window to kind of wrap up what you're doing and get back to a safe area. And then the servers would shut down, they would begin maintenance. Now, we expected, what I thought was going to be the case, was that they would shut the servers off for maintenance, and then possibly the next night, they would kick the servers back on, and this is something that will be continuing on day after day. That's not the case. They said, stay tuned to our announcements to find out when the next time frames are. The next time frame, and this is from Tuesday now, the next time frame is going to be Saturday night from 5 to 7. Yes, 2 hours. 2 hours. And then the next time frame is going to be on Sunday, the following morning from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Another couple hours. And then there's no other dates after that. So I don't know if they have dates planned after that. They could possibly be adding more dates and times after that point. But for the first week, you essentially get, 8 hours of gameplay? And that's if you can make it within those time frames. Now, look, I'm all for fixing the game after every playthrough of every night or something like that. I'm okay with that. I mean, that means you're trying to test out the most that you possibly can with that game and get it fixed, so that way it's perfected by the time the game launches. I get that. But the fact that you're only opening the beta up for a short period of time, and then not to mention you got a lot of people that work long hours or night shifts that weren't able to play on Tuesday night. If they got a chance to play, they might have only played for an hour or two. And then you have your next time slot's going to be available on Saturday night. Now, if you're adamant about playing it on Saturday night, you're going to get a chance to play it on Saturday night. Now, for us, for example, or for me personally, I will not, because, I've got my kids' fall festivals to go to, so I'll be out of the house most of the day and all night. So I will not get a chance to play it on Saturday. And then you got Sunday. The time frame is 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. So if you're a church-going person, you go to church every Sunday, you're not playing the beta. Or if you do, you're only going to get a chance to play for 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how close you live to your church. We happen to live maybe 5 minutes from our church. It's right up the street. But, you're talking about church getting out at 12, 12:30. You don't get home until possibly 1 o'clock. And then you can only play the beta for maybe 1 more hour before it shuts off at that point. And based on the dates that they have given, that could potentially be the last one. So how much time do you actually get to play the beta and fully test it for yourself? You really don't. I think if they would have at least opened the game up every single night even if you did it for 3 or 4 hours at a time frame, at least you're giving more opportunity for people to play instead of these small windows. And windows that are going to be hard for a lot of people to match, because first of all, you got a lot of people that work on the weekends. And if they work at night or even till the evening time, they're going to miss this beta, especially on Saturday. And then you got those folks on Sunday that if they go to church or they spend time with family on Sunday morning, they're going to miss the beta again. Just this message for Bethesda, I understand why, I get it, but you got to at least open this beta up for longer time frames than that to give a majority of people, because if you fully want to stress test this thing and you fully want to stress test the servers and the capabilities, you've got to open it up to as many possible avenues as you can, which means you've got to put as many dates and time frames as possible. of course, hit those crunch times like you did on Tuesday, 7 to 11 p.m. Perfect time. A lot of people are home. A lot of people have a chance to play. But if you open it up every single night, you're going to catch more and more people. Because what if somebody has to work a night shift and they can't play till like the following night, but the beta's not active the following night, so they're missing out. If they have avenues and dates that are consistent throughout the entire week, every night, you'd actually have a firmer grasp on what the servers can handle at a given time. Because that's what you're going to be dealing with when your game actually launches. Those same people are going to have the same work schedule. So you want to test it on every single night. So you want to find out what day your game tends to be played the most. Get that type of feedback. Because right now you only have feedback for a Tuesday night, a Saturday night, and an early Sunday afternoon. That's the info, and that's what you're compiling. You have to get an idea of the audience you're going to capture on a Tuesday night, a Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon if you want, and also a Sunday night. Because you want to find out when your core audience is actually playing the game. I don't think you can really get that when you have these time slots this small and this window this closed. Just my personal opinion. I could be completely off the radar here. Let me know what you guys think. I would greatly appreciate it. I just think they would get a better feel and more feedback from people if they had these windows a little bit more open. If they're a little bit more free with the dates. Because right now, these windows are really, really small. So Bethesda, if you are listening, please just let me know. Now, Bethesda's actually been really, really cool with me over the past, I don't know, since my Gaming Truth days. They've been really, really cool with me. They've entrusted me with reviews for, I've done their Dishonored series. I think the last Fallout game I reviewed for them was Fallout 3. No, it might have been Fallout 4. No, I think it was Fallout 3. It was Fallout 3. So I reviewed a Fallout 3 for them. I reviewed, the Dishonored series from them, Prey. So I have a really, really good relationship with Bethesda. Yes, and Bethesda, if you are listening, I get your Christmas card every year too, by the way. So I really, really appreciate it. I know this year, when your Christmas card comes, it's probably going to have a picture of the Vault Boy on the front. And look, I appreciate it. The relationship is really, really strong there, so I greatly, really appreciate it. And look forward to keeping that going. So, and yes, we will be, and I will be having hands-on and reviewing Fallout 76 with you guys. So I will be more than happy to do that. And because I'll be honest, and I'll be brutally honest with everything that I do and everything that I get my hands on. But Bethesda's always been really, really good, no matter what the circumstances, no matter what the situation. Even if I'm disappointed with the game, Lord knows they know, because I love Dishonored, but I wasn't the biggest fan of Prey, and then and a couple of their other titles. But when I got really, really happy with with Doom, they entrusted me with Rage, and I won't say crucified Rage, but I didn't like Rage, and but it's a working relationship, and they've been on really, really good with me. And look, Bethesda, I really, really appreciate it. But that's why I felt like I had to voice at least my opinion on the beta, and at least kind of make some recommendations towards it, because I feel that you would just collect more data by opening it up more and getting more hours than just what you're doing right now in small, minor spurts. A couple hours in one sitting. That's kind of a stretch. On top of that, you're doing like the World Series. So your Tuesday night, I was at home like going between both the World Series and Fallout because I wanted to watch the game. And then your next one's on Saturday, and the World Series is going to be played again, and then Sunday because the game's going to be played again. So, it could potentially be played again. So, that's what the, that's the avenue they chose. Apparently, nobody there watches the World Series or watches sports like that. So, at least on Sunday the beta stretches until 2:00, but at least they got the beta cut off before the really, really big stretch of football games on Sunday. So if you like watching football games, you may miss an hour, but you'll have the rest of the afternoon to catch up and to play, or to at least watch. So, but the next thing I wanted to jump to real quick as well to close this show out is the announcement had just come down yesterday that the new Battlefield V Battle Royale mode has been actually delayed until next spring. The game itself will come out in its normal November timeframe, but the Battle Royale mode will not launch until the spring. Now, I don't know if this is going to just speak volumes about what to expect from Battlefield V. I know a lot of people right now have been kind of at odds with Battlefield 5. A lot of people are like, it looks really, really good. I can't wait to play it. The story mode with the trailer that just came out recently for that looks really, really intriguing, looks really, really good. You know what you're gonna get with the multiplayer from Battlefield. But a lot of people have been kind of on fence with it, and then with the recent release of Black Ops 4, it kind of reignited a spark that people had with Call of Duty from the past. And the Battle Royale mode that Call of Duty has shipped with this game, Blackout, actually plays really, really well. If you've seen my review of the game, you already know my thoughts and opinions on Blackout. It's probably one of the best mature Battle Royale modes that's out there. To me, it surpasses PUBG. I don't think it surpasses Fortnite just because Fortnite's a completely different animal. But as far as like the mature-oriented Battle Royale modes, I think Call of Duty right now is the best. And here's my thoughts. The reason, and now I could be completely off guard, I could completely be off, I don't know. EA, DICE, if you're hearing this, if I'm completely off my rocker here, be sure to let me know. But here's my thoughts. Coming off the recent success of Call of Duty Black Ops 4, the Blackout mode, you saw how fans are gravitating towards Blackout. And then you took a look at your own Battle Royale mode that's within your game that you planned on shipping with the game in November. And you said to yourself, you know what, there's a lot that we haven't done yet or covered yet to make this Battle Royale mode better than what Call of Duty is going to be offering or what has offered. I'm sure you looked at what I'm about to say Blops, but I'm sure you looked at what Black Ops 4 did, and you said to yourself, there's no way we can top what Call of Duty just dropped with Blackout. And that's hard for me to say because I'm a huge Battlefield fan. I love Battlefield. I've been a huge Call of Duty downer for like the past 5 years, 6 years maybe. Haven't been the biggest fan of Call of Duty in a long time. But this year there was a shift in the paradigm. Now a lot of people are coming back and gravitating back towards Call of Duty. And their Blackout mode was actually done brilliantly. And I think Battlefield is finding itself in a tough position because they had ideas that they probably wanted to implement into their Battle Royale mode. It's getting close to crunch time now. Well, they're in crunch time now. And it's getting to the point now where the game's going to have to be shipping here very soon. They're not going to have enough time to implement everything that they want to get into their Battle Royale mode, at least, or have these new ideas to implement into their Battle Royale mode that Call of Duty got right. Because my thought is they probably did more of what PUBG did, And then they found out that Blackout actually did it much, much better. And they were like, okay, we've got to change some things up here. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to delay our Battle Royale mode until the spring. That'll give us the rest of the winter and the beginning of spring. Now, when I say spring, I'm talking about March. And that's going to give us the first couple months of the year to perfect the Battle Royale mode, since the main game will be out. And here draws on another problem that I've had, and I've talked about in previous episodes before. If your game's not ready to ship, why ship it? And now you're going to be putting in modes that you originally intended to ship with the game as extra content. And, please forgive you, if you guys decide to charge for this, it's going to spell you're going to have a lot of people upset. I'll just put it to you that way. You're going to lose a lot of players. If you put this as part of one of your DLC packs, and you have to purchase this pack, and Battle Royale mode comes with that purchase, you're losing a lot of your players, right? I can tell you that right off the gate, you're going to be losing a lot of players. But they did say that all their content was going to be free post-launch. So I'd assume, putting air quotes up here, that that's going to be a free update. Which if it is, okay, but still, why ship a game when you're not done with it yet? Why not just delay the game until the spring? I mean, I'm sure a lot of Battlefield fans are not going to want to hear that. But let's be perfectly honest here. A lot of y'all are playing Call of Duty. Y'all see what Call of Duty's doing. It's reigniting that spark. You got players coming back, so you'll be playing Call of Duty through the winter. You've also got Fallout 76 that you can go to. You can wait until the spring for Battlefield, especially if we get a much perfected version of Battlefield. I'd be okay with that. Don't ship a game if the game's not done yet. You may be done with the story mode. You may be done with a lot of the multiplayer stuff. But if one of your key components is going to be the Battle Royale mode, which you have talked about since the announcement, that's got to be included with the final game when you ship it. I hate shipping games already and then say, we'll go back in and add this mode at a later date. Red Dead's doing it. But Red Dead's got a lot to play until that online aspect launches. They did it with Grand Theft Auto as well. And look how well the online worked for Rockstar and GTA. I'm sure it's going to work out in a very similar fashion with Red Dead Redemption. But we all know Red Dead Redemption as being a single-player experience that's going to have multiplayer as an option. But when you look at Battlefield, many people look at Battlefield as an online game with a single-player component. They're kind of flip-flop there. And as part of your multiplayer experience, it's supposed to incorporate your Battle Royale mode. You've got to ship that with the game. So I'm a little bit disappointed with that. And I don't want this to be a trend that follows. It's been a trend that's been kind of happening as of late anyhow. But this should not be a trend where you take big components of a game and just hold it back until a later date. Just give us the whole thing then. Just delay the actual game until the spring. I don't think you're going to have a whole lot of fans upset at that. If your Battle Royale mode's not done yet, look, perfect it. We'll be okay. We've got other things going on that we can play. And I'm sure you don't want to hear, well, they'll just play Call of Duty until your game comes out. I'm sure you don't want to hear that, but that's going to be the reality of the situation. People are doing it now. People are playing Call of Duty right now other than your game because your game was already delayed a month. So you've already got people playing Call of Duty. You're not going to stop that now. If you've already got that emotion already, why not just take the full thing and say, you know what, let's just delay this thing until the spring. Let's perfect it. Let's get the Battle Royale mode finished and in there. And then we can ship it. Now, I already know the spring is cluttered with games as it is right now anyway. And there are some games moving out of that spring timeline. Like Days Gone just got delayed, like 2 months? It was supposed to launch in February. I think it launches in April now. So games are starting to shift their release date a little bit just to kind of flesh out the amount of titles releasing on certain days. Because I think the day when Days Gone, the date that was supposed to ship on, I think there's like 3 other big games all shipping on the same day. So it could have spelled disaster. So you're going to see a lot of games shifting release dates right now just to kind of free up a little bit of dates and weeks here in the spring. And Battlefield can find the sweet spot right there in the spring. But that's going to do it for me. I'm KOD X Factor. This is the Game Night Lounge Media Network. All the guests that appear on this show and future shows are part of the Game Night Lounge Media Network as well. I thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms. We are on Facebook at the Game Night Lounge. We are on Twitter. Our handle is at Game Night Lounge. You can also follow me personally on Twitter. I am at KOD X Factor. Make sure you follow us at our website at www.GameNightLounge.wordpress.com. We are working to get that WordPress removed from the actual title, so it'll just be GameNightLounge.com. But for right now, the website is www.GameNightLounge.wordpress.com. Make sure you follow us and follow this RSS feed on all the podcast avenues, such as Podbean, TuneIn. We are in the iOS podcast store on iTunes. We are on Google Play. Make sure you follow us there. And make sure you go to our YouTube channel. We are at the Game Night Lounge, and make sure you comment, subscribe, follow, do whatever it is to make sure you get the early notifications of what we got going on, because we got content coming right now every day. So that's going to do it for us. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm KOD X Factor, and until next time, game on.